What's up, beautiful people of internet? I'm Wesley.
I'm Steph.
This is Wes and
Steph.
today, guys, we're reacting to why the music industry is terrified of BTS by Veracity magazine.
We're excited. You guys recommended that we needed to watch some of these videos, so we're excited.
I'm very pumped.
I'm a little nervous I'm going to get really pissed off. But we'll find out.
Oh,
we'll
I'm
see.
excited that Stephanie's going to get pissed off. And I'm excited to get mad myself.
No.
Because I get so mad whenever the boys
Don't
get
you
screwed.
mistreat my boys.
So let's go.
On April 3rd, Jimin of BTS became the first South Korean soloist to debut at #1 on the world's biggest music chart, the Billboard Hot 100. His song Like Crazy became the 7th song ever by a Korean act to reach #1. The other 6 songs are BTS's songs. So all
That's
of the Korean
crazy.
songs that reach #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. Actually, all the songs from Asian artists that debuted at #1 are from BTS and BTS members only. And believe it or not, this is extremely scary for the music industry. Since BTS entered the Hot 100's top 10 for the first time in 2018, the music industry has done everything in their power to prevent them from getting #1 songs. But why does BTS keep succeeding despite literally being one of the most sabotaged artists in the industry?
Which is
and why
crazy.
would all these music entities work together to harm one artist? Isn't this simply paranoia from BTS fans? The industry's
Do you
actually
have any ideas so far?
No.
My first thought is just money.
Yeah. They don't want them to get the money for it.
Well, that if there's not money in it that the record labels are getting, it's kind of like a organized crime syndicate, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we don't care if you sell drugs, but you better be paying us a cut.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so it's like, oh, you're not paying us a cut? Well, then we're going to do everything we can to stop you. That's what I'm thinking.
can
It's
say
always money.
something very
Always
clear.
money.
BTS cannot be at the top, and they don't try to hide this anymore. Everyone can see the industry's obvious intentions by looking at the times they come up with a weird new rule that prevents BTS from succeeding in their charts. Just look at the latest one. Jimin's song Like Crazy got a #1 in its first week, and it was predicted to stay in the top 10 for its second week. Jimin was achieving the same debut numbers of Olivia Rodrigo, but without the industry support.
Which
And
is
this
crazy.
obviously
Yeah.
was not the industry's plan. So Billboard decided to change one specific rule that benefits Jimin, so him and only him can fall from the charts, and the rest of it stays exactly the same. It's still unknown what Billboard did exactly to make the best-selling song of the week go from 100,000 sales to 14,000 sales. Maybe Billboard didn't just want Jimin to not be in the top 10, they wanted him to free fall. So why filter 60% of the song's sales so he can fall from the top 10 when you can cut 90% of the song's sales and make him have the biggest fall ever? Maybe
Maybe
they
thought
didn't
that'd be
just
too
want to take
obvious?
his accomplishment away. They wanted to send a
So
message.
did they just like fake the numbers completely for him? Or they changed something in the back algorithm, it sounds like?
I think Billboard's thing is proprietary. And so it's like behind cold doors how they actually calculate the numbers.
Oh, you don't know how they could just change what the sales look like.
But I think, or they can at least, because we both did stats,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Stephanie worked as a research aide, and I was in a psychology PhD program that I dropped out of.
You did a lot of
horrifically.
stats.
But we did a lot of stats, and one of the things we know is that just depending on how you run the numbers,
Data analytics.
you don't even have to change the analytics, but they're actually changing the formulas they're using to even calculate the stuff.
Yeah.
So that means like they could do so much on the back end to basically
Whatever
create
they
any
want.
result that they would want to do.
They wanted to show who is really in charge, not the fans consuming the music, but the industry itself. This is not the first time they've done this. Whenever they want a song to fall on the charts, they apply a new rule that applies to one artist, and then they forget about this rule for the following weeks until once again, an artist they don't want to be at the top is at the top. So they apply one specific rule that can help them fall. Allegedly, of course, because the only explanation to delete 90% of a song's sales is for Luminate, which tracks these numbers, to track each payment by looking at IP addresses and credit card information, and that's illegal and Billboard would never, of course. So why would the whole industry go out of their ways to prevent one artist from succeeding?
Because
It's
they're
hard-
not getting money from it. You're right.
BTS
I
is
keep on flicking back and forth between the B-roll,
Yeah.
and I'm like, the B-roll makes me happy.
Yeah.
And then, but the words that are being
I'm
said are
pissing you
making
off.
me mad.
Yeah.
biggest advantage and disadvantage is that they are successful without the industry's support. And the industry has built an environment where you can only win if you accept to play the industry's game. In other words, the industry chooses its winners from the very beginning and sabotages other players who find alternative ways to defeat others at their own game. I would say that the biggest artists who do this are BTS, and it's because of ARMY's power. BTS is not simply a one-hit artist, they are at the core of pop culture, and they did this without industry support. Not the K-pop industry support, not the Western industry support. BTS were able to get to the top of the music industry without the music industry making a profit out of them. That's why BTS are a problem. That's what the industry cannot stand. Just compare Psy's situation with BTS's situation. When Gangnam Style by Psy became globally popular,
the first K-pop song that I knew about, that my parents knew about, my mom
I knew about
loves the song.
It was everywhere in the US. Everywhere. It was
so
like
good.
On radio. It was on.
I still love that song. It's still on my phone.
In TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, TV shows were like doing the talk shows in the mornings that are designed to like appeal to what, like 50-year-old ladies and stuff. They were doing Gangnam Style.
Industry was not afraid of a Korean singer becoming popular in the West
His music
because everyone
sold
assumed
that song
it was
too.
a one-time thing. But when BTS became globally popular, the story was different. The Western industry was first okay with them being a one-hit artist. They were fine with BTS being the weird phenomenon that people will grow out of after some time. But when they didn't disappear and they actually started defeating Western artists, the music industry got worried.
That makes so much sense. I'm gonna pause because that to me is revelatory. I was like, why would they even let them get a foothold? And it was because they thought it was like, oh, this is an anomaly.
Yeah, this is cool.
They're not here to stay. And so that's why, like, when they keep coming back, and now they're taking over all of my music artists that I'm sponsoring. If I'm Miley Cyrus's record label, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is one time they show up. And then it's like, oh, no. Now they're beating my girl? No. We got to get him out of here.
Because we invested so much time.
Yeah.
And it's also like the power that you hold in your ability to get the artist in these deals in the first place requires artists and people to believe they need you to succeed. Yeah. So having like somebody be this much of a success, a one-hit wonder, right?
Yeah. That's
fine. But somebody who's a perennial hit maker with such a strong fan base over multiple decades, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, we can't let people know that they can succeed without us, because then they wouldn't have us in the first place.
It's like the Beatles never had a record label, and it's like, what do you do with
this? Then I don't need a record. Then every artist growing up says, well, I don't need a record label.
And I think especially with the rise of the internet and social media, it's been so much more able for music to spread quickly just because it's good and people like it or it's catchy. And I feel like the music industry is struggling to hold on to their ball and chain on these artists.
So the legacy...
Because otherwise they're out of a job. Why do they need a job? And
so that's why they say, oh, you need us for help with the marketing and to help with this.
You need us because we're the only way to pay the money, the bribery to even give you a shot. That's so effed up. And not just for BTS, for any musician out there, any one of you who's sitting down at your guitar, your keyboard, and trying to come up with music, they are against you.
It's like a mafia. It's like you can't play.
Right.
Yeah, you can't play.
Some artists, the music industry got worried.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
The entertainment industry is usually happy to celebrate international and independent artists and scream diversity as long as one, it's a one-time thing, or two, artists obey the industry's rules and give the industry some profit. The Oscars were fine celebrating Bong Joon-ho's movie because even though they don't profit from the movie's success, at least Bong Joon-ho is not an artist releasing multiple successful projects a year. Parasite was a one-time thing that indirectly could help his other movies from American production companies. The
he had other movies from American production.
So it's like if BTS could get signed to Interscope or somebody. Yeah.
Giving Squid Games multiple awards because at least the show was being produced by Netflix and the actors were happy to accept offers from the Western industry. In other words, the Western industry got benefits from the success.
They look so our Squid Game crew is really throwing me off here. They look so different.
I was just like, damn, they're all so beautiful. Holy crap, they all cleaned up amazingly.
A foreign series, so it was fine to celebrate them. Everything Everywhere All at Once was highly celebrated by the industry. industry. But at the end of the day, it's an American movie by American directors, American writers, and American production companies. In the end, the movie's success is the American industry's profit. But singers are different because they constantly release music and their success can become constant support from fans. So an artist's success can rely on the fans more than it relies on the industry itself. And that is not something the industry wants. This is why a song like Despacito, which was already the most popular song worldwide before the Justin Bieber feature, was not recognized at all by Billboard or any other entity from the American music industry.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I will say because when we're in US, we are kind of in a media bubble.
We are.
And so
it's really hard to find stuff that's not American made.
I didn't know that Despacito was like the
worldwide,
most popular global song until...
I love that song.
I didn't hear it until Justin Bieber's
I didn't hear it until Justin Bieber either. That's crazy.
That's crazy. You know, I was thinking too, it makes sense because like theoretically, the technology is to a point where almost anybody can make a music track that's high enough quality that people would listen to it in their house, right? Mm-hmm. So the like movies are still so difficult to create that it actually behooves you to have an industry in place and a studio to pay for all the different cameras and special effects.
There's no control over singers the same way as musicians.
You could just have somebody who's amazing. I mean, we've seen it, right? Like, even on Vine, there were singers that went viral. Yeah. Like, people go viral and get followings for just literally them with a guitar.
And they let you have one-hit wonders, and then you never hear from them again.
And that makes sense. So the movie industry is way more secure, right? Yeah. They're like a secure despot or a secure tyrant who's like, we're not too worried about anything because we know that we're still necessary. Yeah. Whereas music industry is like an insecure tyrant who's like, oh, we really have to like snap because if people realize that we don't actually have a truly good
thing comes crumbling. Yeah. That's crazy. Despacito is such a good
I didn't even know that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Only accepted the song as a global success when Justin Bieber and his American label were involved and making a profit out of it. This is why the Billboard Music Awards were happy to invite Psy to their ceremony, but they never gave Gangnam Style, the biggest song of the year, a number 1. Many factors prevented Psy from achieving this. To start, Psy never left his Korean company to fully sign with an American label, so his music never got proper industry support. Also, at the time, Billboard didn't count YouTube views as streams, making it obvious
4.7 billion.
Yeah, that's insane.
Everyone watched it. The music video was like nothing. I remember the first time I watched his music video, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever watched
seen
for a music video.
It blew me away.
It
was
did.
Crazy.
It was the dancing and the music and just like, it was funny. It was a funny thing to watch.
I think if I'm remembering right, there just wasn't as much like pageantry in US music at the time either.
No.
And there'd been periods in time where that was more popular.
But it wasn't.
But I remember it was just like...
my parents loved it.
Yeah,
Everyone loved it.
Didn't reflect what the public was actually listening to. Even to this day, and with many chart adjustments, the Billboard charts are just a reflection of the artists the industry wanted to succeed from the very beginning. Of course, there are exceptions like Gangnam Style, Old Town Road, and some organic TikTok
Old Town Road, that's interesting.
Yeah, Old Town Road went viral.
Oh, it went viral. Yeah, I mean, I love that song too, but it wasn't. Is that not controlled by the industry? I thought it was.
Initially, he might have... I don't know, but...
I don't know either.
I know that it was initially a song that went viral all on its own.
It makes sense why these songs go viral.
I assume he signed a record deal.
Eventually.
Because then there was other version with Miley Cyrus's dad that was released. And all that, the other albums and stuff.
That makes sense.
But how far they go and how far they'll keep being recognized depends on the artist's willingness to shake hands with industry people. And again, they don't care if you're a foreign artist, as long as they get to make a profit out of you. But if you don't comply with them, you will get your moment of fame and then be completely shut down from the music industry. Here's how they do it.
Every time I work, every time I run, every time I move.
The industry endorses its own artists on streaming platforms like Spotify by applying multiple subtle methods. One way is by putting the artist's desire to succeed at the best spots of curated playlists. The biggest one is the Today's Top Hits playlist, which doesn't actually show today's top hits. That it's the ugly, colorless Top 50 playlist. Today's Top Hits is what Spotify wants to be the top hits. Millions of streams from the general public come from this playlist, so being a part of it it's a vital part of a song's promotion.
So that's fascinating.
I've read about this a little bit, and if you own a popular playlist on Spotify, you literally can make a living just like selling spots on your playlist to record companies or individual artists.
That's cool.
That's I'm not saying it's common, but it's like common enough that you can go online and read about it. And there's forums of people who like own playlists. And the same way, you know, like it's not common to be a successful YouTuber or something, but there's lots of people who talk about it. There's people who like they make their living in their career by having a popular Spotify playlist.
That's sick.
And then
that's prone to bribribery because that's how you make your money.
Well, back in the day, there was pay to play on the radio, right?
Yeah.
And there still is that, but now it's like pay to play, but placement on these playlists. Because if you have a playlist you like, you use it like a radio station, and you just go whoop and then shuffle, and then it gets curated for you.
That's crazy.
Spotify says that they decide which artists get to be at the top of the playlist.
But this is from Spotify, so it's different from what I was talking about.
But they have another one that was like the top 50. I want to go listen to that one. I want to know what the real good stuff is, not what the fake stuff is.
And expertise in music trends. But many find these arbitrary decisions suspicious, since Spotify loves giving this special treatment to certain artists from certain labels. To think that artists from certain powerful labels are paying their way to the cover of this playlist may not be a crazy thing to think.
Not at all.
Spotify also takes advantage of the automatic autoplay feature. When you stop listening to an album you like, they will immediately play you a song they want you to stream. More recently, Spotify updated their homepage to a TikTok-like feed that lets you scroll down endlessly with songs and music videos being automatically played. So while some artists get millions of streams added because of passive streams from curated playlists and the accidental streams from the autoplay feature, BTS get millions of streams deleted because fandom behavior of willingly listening to a song every day is considered bot behavior. So
they basically say if you don't listen to the stuff we curate for you, you're not a real person. If you actually seek out the songs that you yourself want to listen to, and you just are like, I love the new album. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to this new album every day for like the first couple of weeks.
Which is how I listen to music.
That's how I listen to music too. They're like, oh yeah, that's clearly not a real person. It's like you don't accept what we spoon feed you.
Are you kidding me?
That's wild.
I am so pissed off.
That's wild.
I'm so pissed off. That is literally when I heard On, and when I still hear On, I'm gonna play it 10 times, 20 times a day because it's stuck in my head.
And they're like, no, that's clearly not the behavior of a real
Are
human
you
being.
freaking kidding me?
That's disgusting.
How do you listen to music? That's
wild.
Bullshit.
It's so creepy too, because it's like Spotify saying, and no real human would not listen to the music that we're forcing down their throat. Isn't that wild? It's like no real human would use our app in a way that we didn't intentionally think them for. That's BS.
That's such bullshit.
And you know what's even weirder? Is it like punishes actually active fan bases.
Yes.
I mean, assuming the rules are applied across the board, which is the whole point of the video, saying like they're not.
Well, what's a bot cutoff? 10 listens?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's probably like, oh, we don't. It's probably not a problem if it's somebody that is okay for them.
Yeah. They probably only do it to certain people.
It's like one of those, like, if you aren't specific about the criteria, you can apply it whenever you want, right? So then you can it's just like a special saying that sounds good that you can apply whenever something inconvenient happens. So you can just be like, oh, so we had to reevaluate the numbers because there were high levels of bot behavior. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But if the narrative that you want to is unfolding, you don't have to use that argument. Even if there's real bots, I know it's crazy. Steffi, just press play.
I can't press play. I'm so upset.
Filter streams with their filter streams, you will find out that they are the ones with the highest rate of filter streams. Their streams get deleted more than any other artist.
Let's look at this.
Yeah, let's look at the chart.
Butter.
Damn.
Wait. I'm trying to read the chart. Unfiltered filter. That's huge.
That's insane.
They filtered out 47 and 38%.
That's insane.
Of those two songs.
And it's so crazy because if there was an actual bot issue, it would make no sense for like Butter and Dynamite specifically to be the only ones
compared to all the others. That is crazy. Oh, it makes me angry. Tell me that doesn't piss you off.
It pisses me off.
We keep breaking it. We're so mad.
Streams are cut in half. But Spotify is not the only platform doing this.
YouTube? Oh, I'm gonna get mad. I knew some of the shenanigans on Spotify just because I had gone down a rabbit hole where I read about how playlists work. I mean, we do YouTube.
I know.
So I thought there wasn't much fudging of the analytics.
Of course. There's always, whenever you get data, it's so easy to just be like, oh, you have to draw the line somewhere. I'm going to make it slightly too hard in this direction because it gives me the outcome I want. I did data analytics. I get it. I would have people come in like, hey, filter this data a different way. I want to see it over here. And I want this answer. So can you give me that answer?
That's what happened one time. I won't say it, but on a specific project, I was asked to say how popular something was.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, year over year, this is actually getting less popular. And they said, oh, well, we actually need you to run the analysis again because we need you to show that it's more popular so that we can get funding from the company that we want.
I was told to run an analysis 3 times, and I kept saying, this is not profitable, this is not profitable. And he wanted me to say it was profitable, and it wasn't. And it was so bad, I couldn't fudge the numbers or do anything to make it profitable. And I feel like that's how BTS is. It's like, it's so extreme that they can't even fudge the numbers anymore.
They still get the number 1.
That's what they're saying.
That's how powerful
they came back and said 5 times to those analysts, get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them. They're like, it's so extreme, I can't pull any more levers.
BTS's biggest waves of new fans came from YouTube. Their music videos get so many views that BTS started breaking every YouTube record imaginable.
I want to look at the records. You want to look at the records?
Get so many views that BTS started breaking every YouTube record.
Most viewers for the premiere of a video on YouTube, 3 million. Most viewers for the premiere. Most viewed YouTube music video in 24 hours, 101 million views in 24 hours.
Damn.
Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
3 million would be watching it concurrently.
That is
so that's
crazy.
like essentially a live stream, but it's for a music video. Isn't that insane?
3 million.
Imaginable, time and time again. So every time BTS broke a
record, they broke their own record.
YouTube changed their algorithm to find ways to delete what they say are inorganic views. But it's pretty clear that their algorithms never worked properly. That's why they keep changing it every time BTS gets a new record. So just to talk about the latest YouTube algorithm change, I'm going to talk about the most successful music videos from a Korean act so
Sorry, I keep laughing because I'm like, I switched to watching the music video for a second, and I'm like, this is one of my favorite moments. And then I'm laughing when there's things that are making me angry being said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I keep doing this with my face. I'm like, because I keep on switching back and forth. I'm so sorry.
This year. According to YouTube, it's this video. But according to the massive wave of new BTS fans you can find on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube itself, it's On the Street by J-Hope of BTS featuring J. Cole and Like Crazy by Jimin of BTS. But both of these videos get millions of views deleted every day. It's common for YouTube to do this in the first 24 hours with
I want to read that tweet that
I didn't know that YouTube removed views.
794,000 views removed.
So like obviously, we're not at the level of viewership and stuff that this would be something that we would interact with at all.
No.
But that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that.
And they're just saying it's bots.
I didn't even know that was something that happened.
Me neither.
Deleted every day. It's common for YouTube to do this in the first 24 hours with every music video, since it's the day they get the most views. As days pass, fans stop mass streaming and YouTube stops deleting views. But this is BTS, so YouTube is still deleting their music video views today, weeks after they were released.
Oh, that was 800,000 views deleted.
One day.
Like significantly later after it had been released.
So they're like doing this every day, 800,000 views.
That's wild.
Still think that YouTube is just deleting fake views, but it's simply impossible for a random Jimin interview to get more views in its first hours than an official and anticipated Jimin music video.
That's insane.
You're insane. Kidding. That's good. That is crazy evidence.
That's insane.
That's
insane.
Crazy evidence.
More views in its first hours.
You know, especially because like people, like you were saying, you listen to music differently, and like, maybe this makes me kind of a moomer, but my primary music platform that I use is YouTube.
Me too.
And the way that I do it, like I'll listen to the same song like
over and over and over
like
again.
10 times on YouTube.
I listen to my playlist that's got like 10 songs on it. I just reshuffle it
on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, is that bot behavior? No,
that's human behavior.
It's indicative of how I wanted to listen to that song that many times.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like that song. I'm going to keep playing that song.
Oh, man.
I listen to songs on repeat. That's how I listen.
I like to do it that way.
That is crazy. 1.7 million versus 5 million on an interview. That's American-based. That's
official
so wild.
and anticipated streaming music video. It's not crazy to believe that YouTube disproportionately deletes views on BTS's music videos specifically. Let's be logical for a second. These K-pop acts are not bigger than BTS, and that's okay. But it's not okay for BTS to get their views deleted every hour, while these other microscopical songs get views added because people are forced to stream their music videos as YouTube ads. On the other hand, because of these two videos, BTS recently received one of its biggest waves of new fans, probably the biggest since 2021. Yet YouTube wants us to believe that these are the real numbers.
Global takeover group BTS in the studio.
It's fun seeing all the boys together again.
Probably the most fraudulent practice in the music industry is giving radio importance. At least
Was
with
that Ryan Seacrest?
That was for sure Ryan Seacrest.
How does he still control the radio? I don't understand.
I was going to say, how does he look the same?
He looks the same.
He looks the same.
Streaming platforms, there is this sense of autonomy. Streaming platforms may choose the artists they want to be at the top. They may recommend you their songs and music videos time and time again. They may even steal a stream from you because of their autoplay features and paid ads. But at least there are ways to fight this.
I'm gonna fight
Armies
it.
may not get BTS ads and recommendations, but they can look for the songs and videos themselves. Armies may not get all of their streams content, but at least the industry recognizes about half of them. But what has no solution except to pay is radio. Radio mysteriously chooses certain songs to get played and stays with those, giving them millions of radio spins and points to music charts that will give them a number one. But here you have Jimin of BTS, who has a number one song and millions of radio play requests by fans and still receives 0 points.
Whoa, hold up. 0% from radio. 0%. That's nuts.
Because they refuse to play it.
So it's like a blackout.
Yeah.
That's insane. On top of, I don't know why, on top of everything else, I thought that they would at least play it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just, you know what I mean? A complete blackout is wild.
Radio. And this is not even a crazy foreign song that the American general public may reject. This is a mainstream yet nicely produced pop song
it's in English.
But this is just reality. It was not in the industry's plans or in their best interest to make like crazy popular. So when it happened, they once again pretended like BTS doesn't exist and continue sabotaging their songs. Life Goes On was another radio-friendly song by BTS that got a number one on the Hot 100, but they received a total of 6 spins on US radio. That's 0 points for music charts. Dynamite and Butter were number one songs in English by BTS that were played on the radio to an extent, but the number of spins were not enough to maintain their number one position.
I hope they never cede to the music industry in the United States after the way they've treated them. I hope they never give them any penny from all of what they've done.
The only thing that sucks is that we know that the boys, so many of their goals are based around some of the awards that are dictated by the industry. So that's the only thing that's so frustrating is because like the Grammy still has the allure of being by artists for artists, right?
Yeah.
And I bet that's true to some extent, but there's definitely so much of it influenced by the industry.
They're not going to get it because of
stuff like this.
Bullshit.
It's so annoying.
They were only able to stay on the top of the charts because people were streaming and buying their songs. That is the main difference with BTS's songs and the industry songs. If you take the millions of radio spins from the majority of the industry's promoted songs, they wouldn't only have bigger falls than BTS. They would simply not be in the chart at all. This is how the industry chooses their success stories from the very beginning.
Which is crazy too, because I mean they're counting spins on the radio.
Yeah.
That means like I could have played it on my station at 3 a.m. when I have 5 viewers.
Yeah, no one's listening.
But it still counts as a spin.
Yeah.
And so it's weighted. Like no one could be listening, literally, and it still counts as a spin. So it's literally, that's insane. That's insane. So it doesn't require any actual like input by fans. It's literally just like industry for industry.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of the radio industry is just propped up by record labels paying for music and then playing songs to nobody.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know anybody who listens to the radio anymore.
No, I don't.
At least I don't listen to you.
No.
Even when I don't listen to the radio at all.
The only time I listen to the radio is if my phone won't connect to my CarPlay. That's it.
Even then, I play it on my phone. I just put the speaker as high as it'll go.
Makes a song debut look more successful than what it actually is, and therefore it misleads and attracts the general public. If this doesn't work and the general public still rejects the song, the industry doesn't give up. Mass radio play makes an unsuccessful song stay in the charts with minimal sales and streams from real people. While this happens, songs like Jimin's, which literally got a number one and millions of people streaming and buying, will still not receive any radio spins. Radio doesn't care about how radio friendly the song is. They don't care about the millions of faithful listeners.
I don't think radio is even profitable. I think that's the thing. I don't think it's profitable at all. It's literally just a tool that they use to control.
To like have a plausibility to the numbers instead of just pulling them out of nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, no. We played them to no one. No, you guys, no, we did. We actually played it this many times, so therefore it's justifiable. Okay, so you played the song 1 million times. How many people heard it? 200,000. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Care if they play BTS music. They don't care about the most requested songs.
Because they're not making money from it.
The industry's plans are the industry's plans.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no.
The reason why many talk about the industry as a whole is because all of these music entities are interconnected one way or another. Artists and their labels know that being on the Billboard charts gives the illusion that the general public is listening to a song. And to get a #1 song on this chart, you need streams, sales, and radio play. So music labels, allegedly, pay for all of these radio play, fraudulent streams, and media play because they can be an investment for future real sales and streams. This can be an investment for real popularity and real listeners. If all of these investments fail to convince the general public and the label is bold enough, they will continue paying for these tactics to stay on the charts while no real people are streaming or buying.
I'm gonna go back and look at that.
They will continue paying for these tactics to stay on the charts while no real people are streaming or buying the song. These failed industry promoted songs that no one is listening to will then be nominated for Grammys with the excuse that they care about quality and not popularity. These Grammys will then elevate the artist and the music label's reputation, and then they will get more money invested in them.
I have heard that this is allegedly why like some artists will have really big numbers on an album or a project, and then on their like third album, just off a cliff. Because the music industry's like, okay, cool, we're not getting our money back. We're going to stop trying. Because it's all about narrative control, right? Because people like people generally like to like what is popular. Or at least, I heard this is really popular, so I'd like to check it out. So then they're like, okay, cool. So if we can just create, even if it's not popular, if we can fake it until we make it, right? Yeah. But sometimes it's doesn't have any substantive quality high enough that even faking it will get it to make it. And then the labels are like, oh, wow, even if we're doing all these things, it's not working. So we'll cut it off. And then the real numbers are shown and it's gone.
It makes me so angry because what this tells me is that if you're out there trying to make music, you don't stand a freaking chance unless you sign with one of them.
Or you have to go so independently that it's like not through this process at all.
Yeah.
Because for any business, right, there's how you acquire customers. Mm-hmm. So you would have to have a distribution strategy that doesn't take into account any of this.
I think the biggest thing that I've seen is like sometimes I'll find independent singers on like Instagram and they'll release music on, and then you're following them specifically. But like I'm gonna pay so much more attention now to the one-hit wonders and be like, oh, okay, did they come out with anything else good? They probably did.
They might have.
They probably did.
They might have.
But you're never gonna know about it because they're hidden.
Money will then be used to buy media.
I have a ton of one-hit wonder songs on my just from listening through the years, and I'm like, where did this artist go? I've thought that over and over again.
You play streams and the circle continues. If a massively promoted song or album is successful, the artist may get their investment money back, as well as the obvious Grammys. This will give the artist the most important factor to make money, reputation. Allegedly, music labels pay way more money to streaming platforms for promotion than they receive from streams. The money paid for radio spins can go from thousands of dollars to multi-million-dollar settlements. And getting this investment back as sales is not as common because buying music is not a popular enough practice amongst the general public. Musicians
Why pay when you can listen for free?
Yeah. Because you only do it because it's like buying books for your trophy case, right? Like, I think it's so cool to have Face.
Yeah, I buy my favorite songs that I want to listen to forever. That's
well, I'm saying it's like
those.
You can have a physical album as like I love this.
Trophy,
I want a physical embodiment of this thing I care so deeply about.
Fed from their music. They earn money from advances, merchandise, royalties, licensing fees, and concerts. That's why that number one is so important. That's why many would rather not make any profits now and get a Grammy later. It's like being influencers. Their actual content may not make a lot of profit, but the reputation and popularity of their name can get them fashion deals, commercials, and a time slot in a music festival. These are only examples, of course. There are many variables and outcomes. Sometimes artists invest in radio play and end up making a lot more money from sales or concerts. Sometimes an artist has a good relationship with the industry for years, and then they stop shaking hands with industry people and they receive 0 Grammy nominations for an extremely popular, critically acclaimed album. When it comes to BTS, the Western industry's main interest is ratings and social media engagement, because that is direct money for the Western industry. BTS's 5 Grammy nominations are historic for a number of reasons, but their lack of wins show the obvious message the Grammys are trying to send them. You can't be invited so we have the ratings, but you are not our friends, so you won't win. In the end, the industry has the first and last say. And this doesn't only happen in the Western music industry. You won't believe how much the South Korean music industry tries to sabotage the only artists capable of bringing billions of dollars to their economy. Again, this is because BTS are not part of their elite.
I feel like it's because they basically are like, we don't want to be winning unless we're in charge.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, we would actually rather things be worse
for everybody else,
like
better for me.
We would take having less money if we can have relatively a better position compared to other. That's insane.
If you're in the media company, you're like, I don't care if the economy gets $3 billion. I want my guys to do well, so I get money in my bank account.
I think it's also like we don't even if theoretically BTS's popularity would lead to there being higher numbers for the traditional K-pop labels artists getting like higher numbers. They're still like, oh, but we're not at the top. No, we would rather have lower numbers and be at the top and have control of our industry than have like higher total numbers but no control.
Major music labels in South Korea control the entertainment industry. They have enough power to blacklist artists from independent labels like BTS and make the media downplay their achievements. There isn't a common practice of deleting sales like in American music charts, but what they would do is freeze the charts and then apologize for a technical error, so if millions of BTS sales are not counted once again. This is how the different music entities inside each music industry are interconnected. They need one another to function. Sometimes they are one and the same. If you thought Billboard and Rolling Stone were at some point competing for who has the best charts, think about how they are both owned by Banks Media Corporation, which also owns Variety, Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, and an interest in music business worldwide. So if BTS is still the biggest group in the world, but they don't have a good relationship with the music industry, here you will have Guess Who, Billboard, Rolling Stone, Variety, and The Hollywood Reporter making a profit out of BTS by selling exclusive photo shoots while at the same time writing negative articles undermining their success. This person said something interesting. Billboard is nothing but an ad-selling business, the literal definition of a billboard. So why are you surprised the artists Billboard promoted since day one end up succeeding in the Billboard charts?
That's crazy.
So accurate.
Like I said, there are not many artists that make money from their music, but music sales are still an important factor to get a #1 song or album, so they will digitally sell their songs for cents and their albums for only a couple of dollars. This makes a lot of points for charts, but not so much money for the artist. They will also do the classic bundle album sales by selling concert tickets and different kinds of merch like t-shirts, socks, underwear, cups, lollipops, energy drinks, and even condoms, along with a copy of their album. Charts will then count these merch sales as album sales.
What?
However, BTS's main strategy...
You never heard about the bundling?
No.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, this is technically an album sale, but the thing you're mostly making the decision for is like something entirely different.
I wanted a sweatshirt. You threw in an album with it, and now
and
it's an
then it
album
counts as
sale?
an album sale, yeah.
Get their #1 albums and songs is to focus on music sales, real sales. BTS has never bundled their albums with any kind of merchandise or concert tickets. Their biggest sin, which the industry loves to point out, is the fact that they release a maximum of 4 versions of an album, but these were only special occasions. The norm for BTS is to release 2 versions of an album, something completely harmless if you compare it to the insane sales tactics by other music labels. Fans being encouraged to buy 2 or 4 versions of the same album because they come with a unique photo card is nothing compared to K-pop singers releasing 7 or 13 versions of the same album. BTS's 2 or 4 versions of an album don't have the purpose to maximize album sales, or they would be way cheaper. BTS's album versions are intended to actually make money, and their number of versions usually has something to do with the album's concept. If they think one version of an album is enough to capture the album's concept, then they will release only one version. If the album's concept works better in 2 opposite works, then they release 2 versions. It's as simple as that. Another common practice to
maximize... It's so funny to be like, the purpose is...
They just want to make money from sales.
And isn't it funny?
Not to jack up the fake numbers.
It's weird to see it so simple and be like, well, the purpose of this is that they're actually trying to be successful. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Sales is to release remixes of a song. All of these remixes, sales, and streams will be combined and help the main song climb in music charts. BTS very occasionally releases multiple remixes of a song, and ARMYs buy these remixes to help BTS stay on the charts, since they receive literally 0 points from radio and their streams are cut in half. But while BTS is being criticized by the industry for this remix tactic, other artists are celebrated and called smart and iconic for doing exactly the same.
I think that's what bothers me more than anything.
Hypocritical.
Is the hypocrisy. It's like,
so hypocritical.
Okay, here's the game. Okay, sick. We're going to do some of the things other people do in the game. You're horrible.
Doing the things.
You're terrible. Well, they did it too. Yeah, but they're smart. It's like, what? The double standard's wild.
The industry and multiple fandoms think they are doing something by accusing ARMYs of mass buying BTS albums and songs, without realizing that by doing so, they are admitting that the quote-unquote organic hits from the charts are there with industry support and not fandom support. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at BTS for not having radio points, when they have no control over that. They will have to pay for that just like every other artist is doing. The industry and multiple fandoms criticize and laugh at ARMYs for mass buying when all they're doing is balance the unfair treatment by the industry. If BTS is not willing to pay for radio, which is illegal, or pay for playlisting in streaming platforms, then ARMYs will buy every copy of BTS music available. BTS depends on their fandom and their fandom only. That's what terrifies the industry. BTS are able to stay on the charts while actually making money from their music. That money goes to the BTS members and their Korean label, while the Western music industry receives nothing. Even the distribution deal BTS has with an American label benefits BTS more than it benefits the American label. So the label prioritizes their actual signed artists and dismisses BTS. That's what makes the industry mad. That's why the industry has ridiculed them so much that fandoms have convinced themselves that BTS are the corrupt ones instead of being the against all odds winners in a corrupt industry. And this is beyond the industry being petty. Other fandoms are convinced that the general public's support is better than fandom support, because that is, according to the industry, organic success. But as you can see, There is nothing organic about these tactics.
I guess it's just weird to me because in like every other industry and business I've ever heard, everyone always is like, oh, niche down. Like, because I like to watch a lot of business YouTubers and stuff. And one of the things they'll say is like, oh, the way you make the most money is you niche down, right?
Yeah.
So it's just weird to me that it's this idea that if you're appealing to the widest number of people possible,
that's somehow better.
In the shallowest way popular, right?
Yeah.
Then that's better than if, okay, cool, so this artist, like let's say theoretically was successful enough that all of their fans would buy 10 of the same song.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That means that they're impactful enough to that audience that they wanted to buy the song 10 times.
Yeah.
Who cares? Wouldn't you just be like, wow, that's amazing. They clearly have really, really
dedicated
deeply
fans.
impacted.
But then they mock them and they're like, oh, or they'll mock us and be like, they're just fanatics, like crazy people. They're not actual normal people. You know what I'm saying?
I get yeah, for sure. It's just from the accounting perspective.
Yeah.
It's wild to me.
Well, who do you care? I mean,
if they bought it 10 times, they still bought it 10. Like, if you were selling oranges and one person bought 10 of your oranges, you wouldn't be like, this is a bot. You'd be like, this person likes oranges. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is nothing organic about an industry choosing its own success stories and sabotaging the ones overcoming their unfair obstacles. What is organic is having a fan base of real people actually buying and streaming the music. You can see these millions of real people in sold-out stadium tours, something that the majority of the #1 artists and quote-unquote million sellers cannot accomplish. The general public may be tricked into streaming a song. They may follow a music trend on TikTok, but they are not always willing to buy expensive concert tickets. The general public moves on and forgets, but an army of fans is able to make an album or song successful without the artist paying for industry support. Real organic success is when an artist transforms the general public into fans, and that's what BTS does with every release. The fandom's numbers only go up. This is clearly reflected in the percentage of fans who consider themselves only ARMY. The majority of BTS fans are not K-pop fans. The majority of BTS fans are part of the general public.
That's crazy.
And it is easily understandable when you look at the fandom's waves of new fans.
I mean, we would fall into that because any K-pop that we do enjoy, we only have found after BTS, and it's been stuff we've been exposed to through BTS.
Yeah, it's been very casual. And I'm sure there are other great groups of K-pop. So I'm not like, oh, you can't listen to K-pop
we're not
and
like
not
hating on anything
an ARMY
at all.
fan.
It's just we would be indicative of this like general audience, casual, who's then converted into a BTS fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Realize that they have nothing to do with K-pop and everything to do with BTS's performance. So why would an artist prefer the momentary, passive support from the general public when they could have the constant, active support from a fandom? Why would artists prefer a theater or arena concert with people who only know their 1 or 2 TikTok hits instead of a sold-out stadium with people who know all of their songs?
That's why there's so many artists I don't want to go to their concerts. I'm like, I like one song from them.
Yeah.
I don't care about them.
And I feel like, especially with BTS, it would be just cool to be like, oh, yeah, we actually like the members. They're cool. It would be fun to, you know how you can watch a speaker speak?
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool to just go see them performing because we like them as a person, which is different, right? It's like, oh, I like this artist, this one song, but I don't know anything about them. Yeah. I'm going for the song. Yeah. But for BTS, they put out so much content that's just not only their music. You're like, oh, I want to see everybody perform. I want to see them. It's not just that I want to hear the songs live.
Constantly convincing the general public to be your fan, not organic success.
You know what I bet it is? To answer those questions, I bet it's because the music industry has a formula for producing the former.
Yeah.
Like they have a formula that they're pretty sure that they can plug and play and have a pretty high success rate to create general public, whereas they haven't figured out a good formula to force the fandom, at least in a way that they feel they can make a return. Because you have to have such higher, like, for people to get it, it's so much harder to get all the ingredients correct. Yeah. And, like, I mean, think about how much we've talked about, man, how is it possible for BTS to have gotten to this point? There seems to be like 6 or 7 different things that are impossible, right? Yeah. Like even just having the 7 members living together.
That was crazy.
That's even that aspect, right? Yeah. And so they have this long history. Like just creating that long history, right? You can't you can't force that.
No.
So, and look what happened. Like, you try to force a group one direction, they break up.
Yeah.
I'm sure music industry would have been so much happier for them to stay together and would have made way more money if they had released like 2 more albums, right? But no, they just like, no.
Because that's what most groups do.
Yeah.
I think it's very hypocritical for fandoms to cry about how the charts have no meaning anymore every time BTS gets a number 1. Yet, they love celebrating the number 1s from other artists who got there with weird tactics, to say the least. If now anyone can fool the charts and what BTS is doing is so easy, then why aren't more artists getting number 1s only with sales? Why are the charts irrelevant only when BTS succeeds in them? And don't get me wrong, the charts are obviously corrupt. The obvious message they try to send every time BTS gets a number 1 shows how aware they are of their corruption. The obvious humiliation from the industry's...
What is this? Billboard calls out ARMY for mass buying and chart manipulation. ARM says that Billboard can change rules instead of calling out armies. Billboard changes rules, reduces mass buying and increases radio play. Bad decisions get number 10 on Billboard. It changes the rules again. That's crazy.
Actions and media articles show how the industry doesn't care at all about their little mafia getting exposed. They don't care because they know that the general public will keep falling for their tactics. The general public will still believe that a song they don't even like is organically successful because they've listened to it on the radio hundreds of times. The general public will still believe that their accidental monthly stream in Spotify doesn't count much. Fandoms will still believe that what's best for their favorite artist is the industry and the general public support, rather than their own fandom buying the music and concert tickets. But every time ARMY helps BTS succeed in the same music industries that sabotage them, they prove a point. And no matter what the industry does, BTS will make money with no American music label in between. And
I feel like a warrior by supporting BTS. Do you feel like a fighter? Do you feel like a warrior? I feel like there's a call to action here almost. It's just like support BTS with everything you got, and you're giving the middle finger to this corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
Mafia.
That's all like performative and manipulative and fake. I think that's also one of the reasons that ARMY's so passionate.
Yeah.
It's because this has been an aspect of BTS's career from the very beginning.
A fight.
And that's ironically one of the things that makes ARMY as a fandom so passionate and so powerful is because they've had to overcome so much. And what's one of the things like people like, remember I said earlier, people generally like what's popular.
Yeah.
People generally hate injustice.
Yeah.
And it's completely unjust.
Yeah.
And so then once you're aware of that, you're like, oh, yeah, like we gotta...
Industry people. No matter what the industry does, BTS will continue having the fandom support others fail to conquer.
It means so much more whenever they say thank you to ARMY.
Yeah. It understands so much better, right? That was amazing.
They mean it.
That was such a well-written video essay.
That was amazing.
That was
I loved
beautiful.
it. We needed that.
Yeah.
We needed that
was
video
great.
to really fully understand. I'm going to be so much more conscious of what I play and I'm allowed to autoplay now. Like, I don't even use really Spotify that much, but I feel like I'm just going to be so conscious of that.
The nice thing is YouTube autoplay is usually like based on what you already listen to.
Yeah.
So at least you're kind of staying within the stuff that you would normally consume for the most part. Because neither of us really uses Spotify. I'm pissed though, because I'm like, shit. So like, I've been listening to Closer Than This.
Yeah.
So
and
much.
It's not counting.
It's not even counting.
Possibly. That's
so
crazy.
that's so obnoxious.
That's so obnoxious.
That makes me so upset.
Yeah. I mean,
or like Standing Next to You. I was playing Standing Next to You so much. I was playing Shot Glass Full of Tears so much.
So basically anything that's on Billboard's top 100, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's shit. People are just listening to it because they're forced to.
Well, it's like, okay, cool. Like, and we might as well not know what's on the Billboard Hot 100.
I almost feel like it's getting worse too, and maybe I could be totally wrong just because I'm aging out of the demographic that listens to like the top 100 as much because I'm busy with working kids. But I do feel like whenever I hear music that's like, I don't know, like I'm just like, oh, everyone knows this song. I'm like, this song sucks, man.
Well,
if it's not,
that's
like,
what every generation says.
I know every generation.
That's what every
says
generation
that. So it's probably
says.
an age thing for me. But sometimes there'll be a really good one that I'll hear, like the Old Town Road. I thought that was great, and it's because it was sense.
Organic.
It went organic.
Yeah.
Viral naturally, and I heard that, and I was like,
catchy.
"This is awesome! This is catchy." But I don't feel that way about every song that I hear on like the radio, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to think if there's ever been a song that was organically like super viral that I didn't think, oh, that's catchy. Yeah. I can't think of one.
I can
think of songs I didn't like that I heard on. Well, I used to listen to the radio when I was in high school.
Same, and I'd
there'd
hear
be lots of songs
over
I
again.
didn't
You're like, I hate this song. Stop playing it.
But I can't really, even like TikTok popular songs. I can't think of any TikTok popular songs that I didn't think like, oh, that's super catchy.
Yeah.
Even if I got annoyed by it, like eventually.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought, oh, that's super catchy.
Yeah.
Whereas with radio, there'd be songs I didn't like from the very first.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Not that like my opinion is obviously it's to a certain degree subjective.
It's super subjective. But I'm just thinking about my personal experience.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting.
That was amazing, though. Thank you guys so much for the suggestion.
So insightful.
If there's any other video essays you'd like us to watch, please drop them in the description down below. We really enjoy this. I love it. One of my most consumed, like, off-camera genres is video essays. Yeah. So I love when we can react to them. I love video essays. That's what I mostly watch.
That's what all he listens to.
On my free time. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for the suggestion. You guys are amazing. Oh!
I feel fired up.
I feel fired up also. We're currently reacting to All of Us Are Dead.
Yep.
Over on Patreon.
That would fire you up too.
Oh yeah, if you want to get real fired up. We got fired up and All of Us Are Dead. And we got a bunch of other K-dramas like The Glory, Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Vincenzo.
Crash Landing on You. Oh, Vincenzo got us fired up. For corporation stuff.
Yeah,
corruption,
fight
corporation.
Corruption.
The man?
Fight the corruption.
Corruption.
There's nothing that pisses me off more than corruption.
Me too, man.
It makes me infuriated.
And that's one of the things that we had learned this with some of our previous jobs.
Yeah.
Like not on YouTube, like our previous job before, where so much of modern business is not actually about like tailoring to the customer or the person that you think as the customer.
Yeah.
So much of it is about jumping through other types of tools or tricking people or just like figuring out how you can fudge numbers so that a bank will give you a loan.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually worrying about how can I sell more of my product to more customers.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we fudge the numbers just a little bit more so the bank will give us more money? And the customers and getting them to purchase your product are just an ends to justifying that actual goal. Yeah. And it's just really gross. And
it is. I worked at a company, I'm not going to say what company it is, and they made really, really bad decisions during COVID, and they expanded way too much and opened up all these new plants and processes, and the sales numbers didn't justify that. And so then they had to start shutting things down, but from their EBITDA perspective, they needed it to be under a certain ratio to get loans from the banks. So, and there's a government loophole called, I forget exactly what it's called, but you're basically allowed to it's called restructuring, and you're allowed to write off a whole bunch of stuff, and it doesn't count against your EBITDA bank loan to debt ratio anymore or something like that. And so they would just put everything, they're like, can you put that to restructuring? Can you put that to restructuring? Everything was going to restructuring, and they're literally just shutting down plants and doing like, oh, we're going to shut that down because we could just put it towards restructuring. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, you're still responsible for the financial decisions. Like, you're still going to pay for that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it on paper.
So you can keep getting loans.
It was so bullshitty. And I was
crazy.
Just like, this is not good for the company. I don't care what you say. I know this isn't. Because you still have to pay for it. And it's just such a stupid loophole. Anyway.
And instead of all that energy going towards, like, building a product that people would actually want to buy.
Yeah.
It's all that energy is going towards just, like, how can we...
exploit this loophole.
How can we trick banks into giving us money, functionally?
Yeah.
How can we do creative accounting?
Yes,
yeah,
that's what it
insane.
Was. And there's so many stories like that.
And I feel like everybody kind of feels that too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's always been that way to a certain extent, but it just feels everything. Like the shitty way that companies are trying to push specific music and stuff. I feel like it's gotten so overt in the way that companies are like going and trying to get banks to give them money instead of just making better products for people.
I feel like there's more
in shitification.
Yeah,
it feels like that is getting so overt. Everyone's starting to be so aware of it.
Is it just because of the internet that we're all more aware of all this corruption now, and it was always there?
I think it's a combination. I think at a certain level it was always there, but I think that I think it's been accelerating.
It feels like it's accelerating.
It feels like it's been accelerating.
Area. I don't know, man.
I like that in shitification. Anyways, we were in the middle of a Patreon plug when we went on that rant, which is wild.
If you like our rants. I'm sure there's more over there.
And we're currently reacting. I'm not sure when this is getting released, but we're reacting to Friendcation.
Yeah.
We already should have reacted to all of Are You Sure? And we also have tons of other BTS content. We got all the Bon Voyages, all the In the Soups. Yeah. And we've got the tour documentaries. I think we did all the tour documentaries. Yeah.
We just released the concert, or we should have, right?
It either will have just been released or is just about to be released. The D-Day final concert in Seoul, which that blew our minds. And we've got other concerts that we've reacted to in the past as well. So check it out. It's $5 a month. Links in the description down below. But we love you guys. Thank you again for the suggestion. You're amazing. And if you're still listening through all of these rants at the end, shout out to you.
I hope you're fired up too.
You are awesome for making it to the end of the video. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. So bye.